Screech by Taran NCT on AO3. Episode 3, Chapter 3. Izuku managed to get back into his room with an hour to spare before he had to leave for school. Quickly shedding his gear, Izuku pulled on his night clothes for the short walk to the bathroom. He could hear his mother in the kitchen and didn't want to risk her seeing him in either his vigilante gear or without a shirt. He took a quick shower, ensuring that all traces of tears he had cried were truly gone, and that his curls were no longer flattened by his beanie. That hair was terrible. And then went back to his room to put on his uniform. He wondered how long it would be before the police showed up. Izuku opened his door and listened for his mother. He hadn't heard anything from her since the shower, but that could either mean she was waiting for him or that she already left for work. He turned all his focus on his hearing, and was only able to pick up on the heartbeats of his neighbors. So he released his focus and relaxed. His mother was already gone. He went to the kitchen and made himself a quick breakfast, and packed a sandwich for lunch, hoping he'd be able to eat it this time, and then got his shoes on and left for school. Walking down the street, Izuku noticed a man leaning against a car with a tan trench coat and a tan hat. Great, Detective Tsukuichi. He noticed the second the detective recognized Izuku, letting him know that Eraserhead had indeed reported his name. Heaving a sigh of recognition, Izuku continued his walk to school. Either the detective was going to walk with him or stop him, but Izuku wasn't going to acknowledge him first. Midoriya, the detective said as Izuku was passing him. Can I have a few words? I'm on my way to school, he replied quietly. Can we talk and walk? Of course. The detective agreed. I just wanted to say a few things. In any case, just so you know, neither Eraserhead nor myself want to arrest you. We want to see you make it into a hero school, like UA, and become a licensed hero. On that front, since we have now had this conversation, I expect you to stop all vigilante activities. That is going to be the driving force if you would be able to get your license. Why is that? Izuku asked. I thought after having vigilantism on my record, I'd be permanently barred from ever getting my license. We are going with possible excuse that no one ever told you that it was illegal and that you were too young to have your license. But now you have been told and won't be able to claim otherwise. Izuku nodded. That he understood. Second, we would like for you to turn yourself in, sooner rather than later, so we can start an official investigation into your mother for child abuse. You would then be placed with a temporary foster family, and Eraserhead has already volunteered for your placement. Wide-eyed, Izuku could only gape at the detective for a moment, before his brain restarted, and he was capable of speech again. What about his husband and son? Will they be okay with him taking in another kid? How? Detective Tsukuichi stammered. How did you know about them? Eraserhead is my favorite hero. Izuku shrugged. I like to follow him, watch him work. Sometimes he gets calls from them. Looking at the detective quickly, he continued. I'm an owl, detective. I can hear a whisper from 20 meters, and Present Mike does not know how to whisper. Laughing, he said, No, he does not. I'll have to let Eraser know, but as for them, I'm sure they won't mind. Mike has used his emergency foster license a few times without consulting Eraser before, and their son was originally an emergency foster himself. He won't be upset that you're receiving help. Izuku nodded. When do I need to turn myself in by? Preferably as soon as possible. I'm willing to take you in now, but if you would rather it be later, I can give you my number so you could come in on your own time. He handed Izuku his card. Just remember, no vigilante work. Izuku paused before asking, will this mean I can't fly anymore if I turn myself in? It would mean no more unsupervised flights, yes. However, Hawks has offered to take you in on a big brother role, so I'm sure you could get him to supervise some flights. And when you get into UA, you will, of course, be able to fly in training. You're assuming he'd be able to make it in, well, fighting quirkless, Izuku pointed out. I'm sure Eraserhead told you I'm registered as quirkless. Yes, he did, and I verified it when looking you up. He confirmed. However, if you're fostered early enough, you can have your registration corrected and your UA application updated. With your mother out of the picture and your registration corrected, there would be no need for you to pretend to be quirkless. Izuku let out a quiet yet excited chirp before looking around nervously for anyone who may have heard him. Seeing no one, he relaxed and said, "That would be nice. It's really hard sometimes to keep all my traits suppressed, as you just heard." Izuku laughed sadly. Chirps, hoots, and hisses come so naturally. They walked in silence for a few more minutes before Izuku stopped abruptly. Ahead of them, at the school gates, Izuku could see Bakugou standing there, glaring at Izuku, ready for his first day beating. Even from this far away, Izuku could hear the hate-filled growl of Deku. "Okay," he whispered. With a confused eyebrow raise, the detective asked, "Okay?" "Yeah," Izuku answered, still quiet. "I am not really interested in seeing any of my bullies today, and from what you're saying, I could probably skip school if I go with you?" "Well, yes, it would be difficult to attend classes if you're at a police station." The detective looked back at the school gates and saw a few students, but was too far away to make out any details. Owl vision must be really good to being able to make out who everyone was. He couldn't even make out any features besides hair color. Izuku turned around and started walking back the way he had come, assuming the detective had been leaning against his own car. Name: Izuku Midoriya. Quirk: Screech Owl. Type: Alvrian, transformation with emitter aspects. Attributes: retractable wings and talons, enhance hearing, enhance and nocturnal vision, enhanced voice. Izuku looked at his new ID card with his updated Quirk registration and grinned. He was finally registered. He didn't need to hide anymore. With luck, maybe the bullies would even leave him alone. Well, Bakugou probably wouldn't. But the teachers might not turn a blind eye as much now. Maybe. Detective, I have a question for you. At the answering nod, Izuku continued. If a bully tries to attack me with their quirk, am I allowed to defend myself? You get attacked with quirks at school? He asked, alarmed. Well, yeah, no one cares about the quirkless kid, so teachers have always let the quirked kids do whatever they want with me. Now that I'm registered, though, they might stop most of the bullies, but I'm sure one or two will still keep going. Izuku paused to glance up at the detective. I just wanted to know if I could defend myself, or if it will count against me if I turn a Screech on them. You do realize that your Screech is really powerful, right? He confirmed. At the assisting chirp, he continued. Maybe try flying away. One of them can fly, though, Izuku countered, thinking of how Bakugou was able to use his explosions that way. He'd only seen it once in person. Once, but he was sure that that had been something the boy had been practicing. I promised it wouldn't be a full-powered Screech. Maybe we should see about transferring you to another school. Why bother? There's only 2 months before graduation, and then it'll be middle school. Izuku countered. With a sigh of defeat, Detective Tsukuichi relented. If a bully is about to use their quirk on you, you could defend yourself. I know what the damage from a full-powered Screech looks like, so if I'm called in, I better not see that. With a soft smile, Izuku said, No, you don't. What was that? He asked. You said you know the damage from a full-powered Screech looks like. And no, you don't. I have always held back. I think I'm close to present mic levels. The main difference is that for him, it's his entire voice, while I can only screech. That sounds terrifying, he admitted. No wonder Eraser is always telling me your screech is the most powerful aspect of your quirk. I promise not to cause any property damage when I defend myself. The two of them had arrived back at the detective's office at the storm and entered, to find Eraserhead sleeping on the couch. Oi, Eraser, this is an office, not a hotel. Wake up, Detective Tsukuichi said. With a yawn, the hero got up and looked at Izuku properly for the first time. Oh, I didn't expect you to be so green. You're starting your own rainbow at home, the detective joked. At Izuku's curious glance, he clarified. His husband is yellow, his son is purple, and now you're green. All he needs now is a red kid, an orange one, and a blue one. Nim and Tensei are close enough to the blue counterpart, and Hawks has already inserted himself into the family, so red is covered. Eraso grumbled. And I'm not trying to recreate a rainbow, I'm just trying to help kids. Speaking of, are you ready to head out? Hisashi's eager to meet you. He and Hitoshi are making a welcome home dinner for you. After a quick stop at his old place to get some clothes and whatever he needed for school for the last 2 months, Shouta and Izuku got to Shota's apartment. Izuku stopped a little bit away from the door and stared at it apprehensively. What's up, kid? Shouta asked. What if they don't like me? Izuku whispered. The detective said they would, but what if they don't? Shouta couldn't imagine Hizashi not liking him, but it was admittedly real fear that Hitoshi might not like him. His son wasn't very social, and took a lot to warm up to new people. He wouldn't be upset about a new person in the home. They'd had new kids come through since they've adopted Hitoshi, but he'd never liked them on a personal level. Just be yourself, Shouta advised. Sashi will love a rock that came to live with us so long as there were no bugs, so you don't need to worry about him. Hitoshi might not like you at first, though, but that's just who he is. Keep an open mind, and I'm sure he'll warm up sooner or later. Shouta ruffled the kid's hair. Now let's go in. I'm hungry, and I doubt Tsukuichi fed you anything good. At the kid's nod, Shouta opened the door, and they entered the apartment. We're home, he called out. Hizashi welcomed them with a smile. Welcome home, Sho, and hello, new little listener. I'm Yamada Hizashi. It's great to meet you. Timidly, Izuku said, Hello, I'm Izuku Midoriya. It's nice to meet you as well, present mic, sir. Aw, you know who I am. That's adorable. You're one of my favorite heroes, Izuku admitted with a brush. You're the only other person I've ever heard with a damaging voice quirk. You have a voice quirk, listener? That's great! Hisashi was not holding back on the huge sunshine smile he was giving off, and Shouta was squinting at the sheer brightness. Well, not really, but an aspect of my quirk. I'm an owl. Screech owl, specifically. Hisashi gasped. Are you Screech? Oh my goodness, Shouta, you did not tell me our new baby was gonna be Screech! Are you Screech? Oh my goodness! Shouta, you did not tell me our new baby was gonna be Screech! I had a whole note about picking poisons. Hold up. Okay, Izuku's poison. He picked. Do I rather continue vigilante work, continue flying freehand, and be free like I normally am, or continue in the life that I've been, which is absolute misery, right? And obviously he chose to go with risking it all for something better, right? He chose to risk it all for something better. It's not pick a poison. I don't know why I said pick a poison, but he chose to risk it all for something better, something new, something that will help him out, you know? And obviously it paid off. It's gonna pay off. I mean, you know. Which I don't have much notes for this one. Other than the fact that One, I'm pretty sure I got the wings of Izuku and the thumbnail very much wrong. I drew that before I knew anything about the fanfic. I just read wings and I went with it. Owls can be white. I'm pretty sure they were described his, what's it called? His wings like gray. For some reason, I thought, oh, wings that disappear and appear when he's about to, fall. That's all the information I got. So I'm like, okay, so angelic kind of wings that are transparent and go away. Not at all what it was going for. I kind of got that wrong. Also, this very much is going to be a villain Bakugou, so I'm excited for that. I mentioned that beforehand, but I wonder, what is Bakugou going to do to get him expelled? Because expelled Bakugou is also one of the tags. So, does Bakugou attack Midoriya on, and he gets expelled? Or does Aizawa find out what Bakugou has done and expel Midoriya? I wonder what bullshit Bakugou's going to do. And also, if he's the villain, is he going to be one of the main villains that Izuku has to conquer? If so, sorry, Jesus Christ. I'm listening. Hold up. I'm talking, right? Hold up. Let me, oh, my phone's at 1%. Oop, that's not good. That's not good. We should charge devices. Echo needs to remember to charge devices. Devices need to be charged. I keep forgetting that devices need charge. Charging devices is something. No, but I was saying, basically I said, is Bakugou gonna be, the main villain, right? And this is playing, right? And as soon as I say Bakugou being the main villain, the big boom happens. This, right? Now. Not now. Okay. There. Okay. Really? Has it already gone through? What? Whatever. It's one of the... It's Little Nightmares soundtrack, and it went... Brrr, and it scared me. Why did I disconnect it? I put it to charge and I disconnected it. No wonder my devices die. Jesus Christ. How has this phone lasted me as many years as it has? I've had that phone for 4 years. And then the one I had beforehand, I had it for a good 3 years before it, I accidentally broke it. You see, curiosity got the best of me, and I started picking at it because there was a crack on the screen. There was a crack, and I said, what if I just go, shoot, and then I just, and then I pulled the screen off. Yeah, that was on me. I went for months without a phone. Well, I mean, I had a phone. It's just, the right side of the phone didn't work at all. The touchscreen didn't work, and you could hardly see anything. So, that was a pain in the fucking ass. Basically, it was just for texting. Not even texting. I couldn't text properly. It was just for calling. And if I did call someone, for example, if somebody called me, I could not call them back. I could not call them back. If someone called me, I can't accept the call. I could only decline the call. So if somebody calls me, I always told everyone who would contact me at the time, hey, if you call me. I'm not going to answer. Call me, let it ring. Once it stops ringing, or once you see that it rings for a little bit and then it gets declined, I'm declining it. Then I'm going back in to then call you. That was the only way I could call people. Anyways, enough of that random tangent. I wonder how Hitoshi and Izuku are going to be, they're going to be siblings in this one, which is going to be interesting, because, ship them. But, obviously, that's not one of the ships. One of the ships is, Izuku and Denki, which, by the way, I thought I was going to do this thing where I put the little ships, especially in Gen, fanfictions, because Gen fanfictions, although I classify this as Gen fanfic because I don't think it is centered on that. I don't think it's centered on that relationship, right? I'm pretty sure it's centered on other stuff and found family, since that's not... Oh, wait, hold up. Who gets all for one? Who gets all for one? Who gets all for one? It doesn't say who gets all for one. Wait, who gets all for one? Who gets all for one? Who gets all for... Okay, wait, if Bakugou gets expelled, then who takes Bakugou's place? Because Minoru Mineta does not exist, right? Minoru Mineta does not exist, and Shinsou Hitoshi is in Minoru Mineta's place. But if Bakugou gets expelled, does anybody take his place, or is there always just an open space? And if someone takes the space, who is it going to be? Because I don't see any OC tag here, so it's is not going to be an OC? Like, who is going to take the place? Interesting. Okay. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be, because normally if it was a, what's it called? Relationship centric, it would say fast burn, slow burn. It would have tags related to, what's it called? Shipping wise. Like, for example, Fluffy Man. I think I clarified that one as a Shindeku fanfic. I think I put that as a Shindeku fanfic. Let me just double check over here. Let me open it up over here. I think I classified that as a Shindeku. Yeah, I classified that as Shindeku fanfic. I'm gonna change that up because it's not necessarily a Shindeku fanfic. It's a Gen fanfic. I don't know why I wrote Shindeku there. I guess to hooking you guys in. But I'm gonna switch that over to Shindeku, or not Shindeku, Gen fanfic, because it's centered on Izuku and, you know, going through, originally it was supposed to be just a Shindeku fanfic, just a fanfic centering on their relationship, but then I got a little carried away, and I created this whole thing, so it's not necessarily centered on that, but that is a big focus. Like, do not worry, I don't, you know, throw that off on the back burner, but I was thinking of doing, like, the main thing, which, like, it's mainly a genfic, because it's not centered on a relationship, right? But these are the relationships that are in the fic, which is what I'm gonna probably do on other ones starting soon, hopefully. I'm gonna start once the series ends and a new series begins, and a new series is where that's gonna start. In Fluffy Mind, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that for chapter 2 and fix that up afterwards, because I said so, and because it's my fanfic, so I say what I want to do. Yup. Anyways, as always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.